Welcome back to the Hawks and Masters podcast, and today we're joined by two special guests, as you can see. Today we're going to be talking about being from the ends and attending a private school. So we'll get more into that when we introduce our special guest. We're going to talk about, can men and women be friends? This topic comes up a lot, but I feel like it's an important thing to discuss. And last but not least, how to deal with negative people. So first we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm Ashley Masters, as you already know. Introduce yourself, Jonah.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Hawkes. I'm part of the Hawkes and Masters podcast. Welcome.
Adrian, introduce yourself.
Adrian, lovely to meet you. One of the residents on this beautiful podcast.
My name is Abiola. I'm a guest on this lovely podcast. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, that's my brother Ray, rapper, musician, social entrepreneur, you know.
Alright, boom. So obviously the first topic, you know why I created this topic, because I want the people them to hear your story, understand who you are, understand the background, understand what the trajectory is where we're going with this, you know what I mean? So give them a little bit about your background in terms of where you came from and your upbringing, and then like a little like the education stuff.
How deep do you want to go? How much?
So no, obviously, just share what you want to share. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but just to give them an understanding of the contrast of where you were from compared to where you went to school.
Yeah.
And how different it was, and the challenges that you faced being from where you were from and going to the kind of school you went to.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we grew up, it's my brother, we grew up in Peckham, but yeah, not the nice part. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not an easy area, you know what I mean? A lot of gang activity.
Yellow Brick Road, man.
Yeah, a lot of madness happening on the doorstep.
Yellow Brick Road,
you know. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but the neighbours were interesting people. You know what I mean? Interesting group. You know. Yeah, like I was, you know, hard work, luck. Got into private school, and yeah, just life. Just
what kind of stuff did you
changed? You know,
because I had a conversation with John about private school and how and what skills that he possessed that allowed him to get into that kind of environment. And he was talking about the classical music and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that John does classical music. What was the skills that you possessed that allowed you to be able to go to such a prestigious kind of school?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. So I got in by, we couldn't afford it, obviously. You know, being in Peckham, that you know, you're not in Peckham by where we lived anyway. You're not there by choice. You can't afford to be anywhere else. So I got in by a scholarship. Jonathan did as well. Same scholarship, I think. And yeah, I think, you know, like when you do the exams and that, they've obviously got like a large group of people to choose from, right? And so it's not all by you know, intellectual capacity, your intelligence level. It's not all just on that. It's part of it is on. In my opinion, I think quotas. You know, I think they got their quotas, but also what, like, you know, the makeup of the group that they put together. So say you've got 200 spaces to fill. Like if you've got your obviously Jonathan's like skill was music, right? So then you want to fill it with, okay, who's, you know, some sports, you know, people who have special skills in sports. And to be honest, like I think mine was just talking. I think I was just able to talk, because I remember once we did the exams, you know, you do a couple of interviews. How many interviews did you do?
I think it was about 2.
Yeah, so they do 2 interviews where they bring you in and like, I don't know many schools where you get 2 interviews where it's like, I mean, past the papers and that, where you're sitting there scribbling right away, it's 2 more interviews. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of diligence in the selection process. Yeah. So obviously, like I think I would just talk, and they were just like, oh, what do you watch? And I was like, oh, I watch this, I watch that. And then I remember saying to them, oh, I watch Houses of Parliament, because when I was like, you know, I must have been 10, 11, I would watch Houses of Parliament. Like, and they were like, really? And I was like, oh yeah, you know. And I remember they didn't believe me when I first said it. And then they said, oh, who's, you know, and they asked for the person that is the speaker, right? So, and we still call him the speaker. So I said, oh, the speaker, and they asked me, oh, what does the speaker do? And I said, well, they lead proceedings. And they were like, oh, I wasn't bullshit. You know what I mean? I watched it. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? You said all the key words. He said proceedings.
Let's take it, you know. So yeah, that's what. And I remember I was cheeky. I was charming. You know, like I remember charming the secretary that like said, "Oh, yeah, yes, Mr. Deco's ready. We're ready for you here." You know, I remember charming that secretary, saying some cheeky like words to her. You know, like it was a bit flirty. You know what I mean? At that age,
anyone with a little bit of charm can get anywhere.
Yeah, because it's like it's what we know.
If you know how to work it, honestly,
being nice, bro.
Being nice,
being good.
It goes a long way, honestly.
But it's what we laud today. Like back in those days, we didn't laud those because we obviously like there's IQ, right? Everyone knows about IQ. You know, we talk Mensa, all of them things there. But now like people are more on EQ, right? So you're the soft skills people call it, and I think that's what I maybe had. Like that was abundance. They were like, oh, you at such a young age, you're not shy. You're just talking. You're just charming. It's, you know, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So I think that was, I mean, because your skill is like obvious. You know what I mean? Put him in front of a piano. Man's doing Beethoven. So,
I'm gonna turn it to Steve.
I have no soft skills at all.
It's too late. You're so scared. Out the window.
What do you watch? Piano, I didn't talk. I haven't like talking yet.
Someone told Jonathan it's okay to talk.
I brought I call that verbal diarrhea. But no, sorry.
How old were you when you did your interview to go to?
So I think I was, because I got into the school the year before. So I got into year 6 in the school.
Okay.
So I
did you do year 6 in that school as well?
I did year 6 in that school. I did year 6.
So I have year 5. I drove past primary school equivalent.
I drove past that. It's like at the back of the school. It's like a little prep school. 5 to 11, right?
But you know,
you
know what's mad though, right? When I went back to my primary school is in Peckham. It's still there, Oliver Goldsmith. So it's a hood school. Yeah. There's a couple man that came out of that school. So I remember when I would go back, they would say they thought the myth was they thought I'd got into year 7 a year early. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You were like, yes.
I graduated that for a little bit.
I'm so smart. But that's smart that they do it from such a young age. So it goes up, starts from year 5 then, and goes up to what?
I think it's year 4. So they have like a something few years before secondary school. I think it's 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
And it goes up to what year?
18, 6 or.
Wow, so they really
sacrifice the full curriculum,
prepare you for
at uni and then all work.
Wow. Yeah. So how was it like the contrast of going to such a school, seeing all these rich kids and everyone who obviously their parents are probably driving Bentleys and all these different kind of things, and on the holidays they go into the maddest places. You get me? And you're in the hood. You get me? How was that? How did that feel seeing that in your normal day every day? Because they're both your norm. How did it feel to have norms that were so extremely different?
It's a mindfuck. Big mindfuck. I think it's only like, I was saying the last few years that I really understand how like just fucking discombobulating it was. Like, because if you think about it, like you grow up in a certain area, seeing a certain level of money, of like behavior, of culture, of different things, and then you're just taken and you're just dropped in this place where like people just got money on money. Do you know what I mean? And they're talking about things, the way they're talking about, it's even like, how do I put this? How can I give like an anecdote? Imagine like you understand the world to be like I mean, this is going extra levels, but imagine you think the world is flat and then they tell you it's round and you're like, wait a minute, what?
It's round. And everybody else there knew that it was round.
You know what I mean? And everybody knows already and you're like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And you're like, you're completely confused. Yeah. Honestly, it was like that. But all now you're trying to pretend like it's all good, you know. And at first, like, I remember at first I was like, yeah, I ain't got nothing. I'm from Peckham, I've got nothing. Do you know what I mean? And like, but then gradually you feel alienated. You feel like I can't talk on this level of these people. You know what I'm saying? And it was difficult. It was difficult.
It was a case of, it was like I've never had a window into a world like that. I mean, there were some people with so much money, I was like thinking, wow, I think, oh, you're upper class or something, or you're just a different world.
Yeah.
And I agree. It was I think that's what gelled us together in a way. We felt like we were from, we shared. Okay, like we're a bit of the outsiders here.
Yeah.
You know.
But
we carried it.
Yeah. Not to say we were welcomed.
Yeah, of course. Welcomed, but it was just a weird experience at the start.
I'm talking about from the moment you cross the gates. It's different. You know, the playground is enormous. Like the grounds are enormous. I'm walking like almost a mile to get to like the ground. There's a running track. I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like the building itself. Like
it's a private toll road.
Oliver Goldsmith in Peckham, is a certain size. I'm talking about this school. You could fit Oliver Goldsmith inside the school. Inside the school. Inside one of the main areas, you could fit the whole school in there. Yeah.
Facility.
So it's for a young kid. It's like completely. Whoa, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, it's, especially like, a kid from Peckham. It's like it's really a completely different world. Like genuinely, it's a completely different world. So it was like at first like, that's where I think a little bit of like coming from Peckham was good though. Because firstly, you've got that thing of you're black. There was a certain call that we had like in that day and age. If you remember that time. Because we know about. I think it's even more. It's even more of equality. Do you know what I mean? Like people talk about equality and equity and like diversity and like having quotas and having we need black teachers, we need Asian teachers, and it's like we bring a lot. The culture we bring is like it's special. Do you know what I mean? It's special source. They talk about black magic. I believe in black magic. It's real.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? Like
constant
culture vultures, man.
But but like that kind of like Peckham, like there's a hard nosedness that you have from being from Peckham. There's like a toughness you have from being Peckham. There's like a banter you have from being from Peckham where you could say some wild stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like you know I was saying like I've got a mean streak, like I'm not lovely guy, nice guy and all that, but I have like I might say some stuff. Do you know what I mean? It comes from like.
I was gonna ask like did going to the private school change like who you are as a person? So like because. As Ashley was saying, it's a different environment. You're going to like a high maintenance school, like, and then you're coming home to the ends.
Yeah.
It's like, did you like pick up anything from when you were like your time at the school in terms of coming back and interacting with people from the ends? Like, was it like how did that? Because I know if you're from ends, you got to change up the thing a bit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're not really going to be able to.
Yeah, I mean, like there's two answers I want to give you, right? Like one is then, and one is like now. So then, like you come back to ends, and you have to learn. You have to become aware that you have 2-3 different languages that you need to speak. Do you know what I mean? So one is like home, like how you talk to your parents. And we, West African parents, there's a certain way you gotta speak, and then when you go to the private school now, there's like another way you need to speak to the teachers, to the kids the same age as you, and then when you come to ends, it's another language. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to like, as a young kid, you have to be aware of like going between those languages. But like at first, you're not really aware of it. You're like, you're just gliding between them. Now I'm much more aware. You know what I'm saying? So that's one, like which is more to do with language, and there's more we could get into. And then I said there's a second thing.
Yeah.
Today, now it's more like now I understand how much I had to kind of gel all of like those different personalities and worlds and because now like I've got friends who are like from ends, but I've got friends who are from like more kind of different class. You know what I mean? Like and they and they mix with people. You too. Like you know what I mean? Like and you have to be able to kind of go between those worlds and still be the same person.
Yes.
And that's not like. I heard Trevor Noah say, like, if you go from one room to another and you're exactly the same person, you don't bend, you don't move, you're probably a psychopath. Right?
So
do you know what I'm saying?
So would you say Jonathan's a psychopath? Would you say Jonathan's a psychopath?
You know I am.
Has he sound exactly the same since school? Like, is this how he's always spoken?
This man's a genius, man.
But a lot of psychopaths
That's my goal.
are geniuses. You know what I mean? There's a thin line between psychopath and genius.
Kanye West is the line. Yeah.
Because you're Lanray's brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly.
So he went to Dulwich College, right?
Yeah.
You went to the Academy at Peckham, right?
Yeah.
How much did you feed off him going to Dulwich College?
didn't.
And how much did Lanray feed off you? Thanks, Adrian. How much did Lanray feed off you going to a state school? Because in ways, and I mean this, one isn't better than the other. One just offers more. There's different perspectives. I would say Dulwich, for me, I can only speak for me, I can't speak for Lanray, in terms of the music facilities were fantastic, but I know that Pimlico was a state school I was meant to go to. That was even better than Dulwich. But for me, it was the quality of the teaching and the passion for music, which has made me who I am. I just feel so. How did you two feed off each other? And you first.
I did. You know
In terms
what?
of your school.
I didn't feed off like my brother. Even now, I'm realizing I should have been feeding off him being in private school, but I didn't have that mindset. I got sucked into my school because it was just exciting, like in a weird way. So much was going on, like it went by really quick. Because we all come from that kind of environment. We had everything. We had gang bangers, like it was just a mad place, but it was exciting. It was just exciting. People were getting beaten up. They started beating up teachers. Like, they took it. You know what I mean? It was nuts. So I just had a good time. Like, I was lucky. I was short, but I didn't get bullied as much as I was supposed to. I guess I played in the football team, so that helped. But yeah, my school was just...
You could talk for Peckham as well.
He talks. He's always been talking about changing. This is your brother, but he's always had that.
What's the age difference between you guys?
Manner, sorry.
7 years. Okay. So that's why because when you were in school, he wasn't even in school.
No, he was just about, but yeah.
But you were young.
I think it was probably
true, actually. That's the point.
He was proper young when he was in school, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I wasn't like perceptive enough to know like right and wrong, if that makes sense, or what I'm supposed to be doing in terms of success.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if I understood that.
I feel like that's the main issue with public schools. They don't teach you or train you
for success.
No, you get that?
Yeah.
No, at all. And I feel like that's
true.
That's almost the benefit of being at private school.
That's the difference.
They teach you and train you to be successful.
Of course.
You get
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because in public school they just want you to finish school.
Our school wasn't even
what I'm saying?
wasn't even like that. It wasn't even finished school, bro.
No, but the teachers, bro, I'm telling
like
you, they just want you to come from year 7, get to year 11,
and go.
They don't. You know what I'm saying?
They don't
like,
care.
It's not that they might care, but that's the. How can I say it? That's the. You know, like every. We talk about Parliament. Every party has a manifesto, and this is what we're trying to provide, and this is what the system is, and this is what we're trying to achieve. Public school, their aim is to keep to bring these kids in, teach them how to be part of the system, teach them how to basically like conform, and if you can't conform, you're gonna get kicked out. You get me? And when you get kicked out, you're gonna go to a place where you have to conform less, and you get me, until you eventually get kicked out of there. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I went to public school, and I feel like if I had stayed, I got kicked out of school year 11. I feel like if I had stayed in school, I would have never got any GCSEs. You get what I'm saying? I feel like I went to a centre, and my centre was alright. They allowed me to do GCSEs in my centre, and I learned there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In school I didn't learn anything. Like you said, school was about man fighting, man punching up teachers, this, that happened, gang banging, man learning how to shop,
Yeah.
I was learning if you want to be part of a gang, I was learning how to move to girls, I was learning how to smoke, I was learning everything
bad.
Everything bad, that's what I was learning in school. Only when I left school, I went to centre, I actually sat in the class and got the information that the teacher was trying to give me. I actually was like, oh, well, okay, picking up the information and learning. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like private school, the intention and the actual aim is to teach these kids to be successful adults.
I agree.
You get me?
That's blown my mind.
I had like a little epiphany. It's like I had the typical, even though I've come from an intellectual family, I had the typical black boy dream to be successful, which is to be a footballer.
Exactly.
And I didn't think of any other avenue. I was so close-minded, and that was my aim to get out.
Exactly.
And
Is that
there
because
was
you saw the role model? Sorry, is that because you saw like the role models that you looked up to were footballers? Did you see any other
It
role
was
models, or you just love kicking ball,
I
right?
love kicking ball, and it was just narrow-minded, bro. It's like you're not really exploring your whole talent when you kind of pigeon yourself.
Exactly.
Like that. It's like that's like a black man stereotype.
But
innit?
this
We
is
have
what
to
I'm
do
saying.
something entertaining
The system,
to succeed. You know
the
what I
system
mean?
is trying to pump that because they're like, alright, cool. What can we do? If we put all of these boys into football, alright, a couple of them are gonna make it, and when they make it, they're gonna come back here saying, "This is the school I went to." You understand? So they're gonna gain some type of recognition. You might even come and slap some bread into the school because you came to the school. Do you get what I'm saying? Then even if one of them make it, do you get what I'm trying to say? So let's just do football. Look how many sports there are. Tennis is a sport that makes bread. Golf is a sport that makes bread. Rugby, I guess in certain cultures they do rugby. You get me? But rugby, black boys would be dope at rugby, bro. You get me? We're strong, we're fast.
Maro Toji.
Only because we're discussing sports.
Yeah.
It makes I clock that they force
There's variation
football onto the
in
madness.
the sector.
Yeah. In our schools, it's football. I got a football pitch. I
literally.
got goals.
All
I
the time.
got all of that on the field,
No,
guys.
tennis
And they got a
all the
running
time.
track. Man, they got running track. Man, they got shot put. The Olympics is a real thing. Man, they got high jump. Man, they got none of that. Man, got football. Do you know what I'm saying? Not about golf. What about? There's bare different
The
sports that
rich
make
man
good
sport that
bread.
put you around
You get
the right
me?
people, innit?
All
as
right.
well. Yeah,
All
I feel
right.
you.
So it's for that same thing, because you know, only if I put 100 of you in this, 10 of you are likely to make it, and only one of you probably going pro. The other 9 of you are probably going semi-pro. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
But mine wasn't the system. Mine came from myself. I wouldn't say it was the system.
But you only had football in school.
We had other things in school, but I just wanted to be a footballer. That was my.
I think like from my perspective, you like because I don't have that talent, I can see it in you, right? You've got a special talent when it comes to sport. Like I seen him pick up a basketball and just start shooting, and like, right, this guy can probably play any sport and be good. He's just one of those people. I don't know why. I think he's being humble, but you know. But when it came to football, you were talented. You were talented. You had a special like talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree with that.
yeah. So I think
It's true.
I think it wasn't necessarily like the usual black man story.
Yeah,
I think you had a special talent.
Yeah.
You know.
It wasn't recognised by the right people.
Also true.
That's the key. You can have the talent, but you need to be recognized.
So it's mad because nowadays it's
That's so
different.
important.
Because when you're young,
You need the right
now you'll get agents now from
patrons,
young.
isn't it?
Yeah, and they'll push you to an academy.
To the right place.
You know what I'm saying? That's really what should have been happening. My man's got a skill like that to push you in the right.
Like Iwobi is our family friend, Alex Iwobi.
That's it, then?
Yeah, and he had the right. Well, his uncle's JJ, so you know what I mean. But he was amazing. So.
Yeah. Talent, different.
You know people diss him, but the boy is talented.
Who's dissing him?
People diss him, bro. A lot of people.
People diss all footballers.
Yeah, but footballers, that's like
they just that's
But
part
he's
of
rich,
it.
so
That's why they're dissing him.
He's rich,
He's
so
been
it's
successful
all right.
and he's black as well.
I'm sure he's not upset.
can't play the game.
So
That
he's alright.
I would have thought that, as they say on their city.
He's alright. He's not doing too bad.
Who's he play for now?
Everton. So.
Everton, okay, so Premier League.
Yeah.
Might get relegated, but it's, no, actually, no.
That's the
It's
thing.
not
That's the
He's ex-Arsenal, isn't he? And I would have kept him, so that's what I hate.
Let's not telling lies,
I
man.
thought he was good. I liked him, just when he left Arsenal.
It's just one of them people.
No, he's not a damn innit?
Alright then, so that brings us to our second topic. So the second topic is, can men and women be friends? I know this topic probably comes up a lot. We've probably had a million discussions about this, yeah? but I feel like there's so much value in this question. Yeah, I don't want to be the first one to give my opinion.
I'll go. Because
No one's gonna believe anything comes out.
That's why.
That was evil.
I love his laugh. I heard it from that. It's good.
That was a Muttley laugh. You know? That was a Muttley laugh.
No, the reason I say this is I remember it's not even coming out of my mouth. One of my friends, I'm not going to quote him. He'll be upset with me if I did. But I remember when we were young, and I asked him, and it's not Landray, like it's not Landray. He said, I'll never forget, men and women could never be friends. Because they eventually want to have sex with each other. And I was like, I was about 18, I thought, okay, cool. Until that moment, I wanted to be friends with everyone, every woman, yeah. And then it kind of put a steam in my head, I thought, oh, right, yeah, be their friend, and then they don't become your friend when you get together, if not, yeah. But I think absolutely. I mean, I remember saying to you, Adrian, last year, around Christmas time, I need to get more female friends.
You did.
I remember, do you remember? Because I was going on nights out, I've been on nights out with all you lot. And, it made me think, gosh, I just look like one of these guys who's like, they turn up on their own, there's all these guys together, they're trying with these girls aren't interested, they go back to the guys and then they get into a fight. It's just too much macho stuff. And I thought, I need to make friends with some women just to get a perspective on a different side. I'm a man. I need to understand what women are like. I've got two sisters, and a mum and stuff like that. But that's different. That's just understanding women from your family. But having female friends, I think, for men is very, very important. And I'm glad that I've gained them. Shout out to Lucy and which camera is it? Lucy and Carly. I love you guys, and Sasha as well. You're a good friend, Adrian. Yeah.
Don't you start.
So I think yes, and the reason I say that they're good friends now is because I wasn't as attractive and beautiful as they are. I said I'm not gonna try and date them, or this is just completely platonic, which, as Landry knows, I struggled with in the past. So absolutely.
No, but looks though, you got charisma, bro. That goes a long way. Like, do you know what I mean? Looks fame, you got charisma, innit?
Well, and this is what my female friends have, and men and women being friends, if you've got something together. You were always fantastic, Landry. I remember at school, Landry would have, these girl mates, parties. It would just be like, wow, I'd be going to motives at like 11, 12, 13. It's like women, girls there. I'm like, Ryan, I'd be awkward thinking, but I like her, and I was just too much about just getting with them. Mm-hmm. So I had to feed off, it took me 15 years. I had to feed off his
Still struggling, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it's very important. I think there's a lot of men who, they ain't got any female friends. They go out and then they literally think of women as a certain object, sexual objects or whatever.
Yeah, man.
And they haven't had those female friends to give that perspective. But no, these are people to be valued, absolutely.
This is
that's me. What about you?
Women are the superior beings. I want to say that on camera.
This is true.
Let them know.
I believe that. I believe that.
I couldn't agree
more.
I love that. It takes a real man saying that, and absolutely. We all agree with that, don't we?
No, 100%.
They're the better looking creatures.
Yeah,
they got the emotional intelligence. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we should be friends with them.
I agree.
They're better.
I don't know. I feel like it always depends on. There's always a situation on. Not everyone's the same, There's something there could be a situation. Say for example, you're out with the man them, and then it's like you see there's certain man them that will be like, I just draw this thing, this and that, and they come back and then they act different.
like different with like someone they're chatting to, or like their girl or their ex, or do you know what I mean? Like certain men have like unresolved feelings. Do you know what I mean? Like they just like it's just
too tough when it comes to girls.
Yeah, like literally, like that's the one thing I don't get. I'm sorry, go on.
No, I want to support your point. Like, men turn weird when it comes to being around women. They put on this facade. They become more macho. All this foolishness. Do you know what I mean? Like,
why is that?
Because they're pathetic. To be honest, like
that's
it. Some
I hear what
people
you're
are
saying.
pathetic.
Sorry, guys. Some of the, you know,
Such a mild boy like that. Well, no, but I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. I wouldn't necessarily use the word pathetic. I feel like it's harsh.
I would.
It's harsh.
Bro, if you have to,
Your voice is not pathetic. You know what I'm talking about?
But I like that. You're straight talking. You just speak your mind.
No, but what I was going to say,
if it causes offence to people, then
because obviously you mentioned Nando, yeah? And what I could probably, because I see with you, you're very like there's no facade with you. Yeah, you show yourself. Because remember the first time I met you, we broke it down and we spoke and you get what I'm trying to say? For the first time, that's the first time I seen you. Yeah. And the energy was open. It was you get what I'm saying? Yeah. It was straight. You get what I'm trying to say? Straight down the middle. We can tell what kind of person you are. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? You can tell that you're genuinely this person you're showing yourself to be. You get what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of men don't know how to do around women. Do you get me? A lot of men don't feel comfortable being their self around women, thinking that I have to say something that sounds cool. I have to look cool. Yes. I have to say the right thing. Yes. I have to do the right thing. I have to act the right way. Image. That's not a real.
Image, yeah.
That's not real.
Image.
Yeah. This is why men struggle to have friendships with women because they're constantly trying to project a certain image on them. Just be you. You get me? And I feel like it's important specifically, not to make it a thing about race, but I feel like it's important for black men and black women to have friendship.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of us, we don't see black women as friends. We only see them as either family or something to move to. Not understanding that these people hold real value. They're not only for us, but we hold real value to them. And we're not even going to understand the value we have that we could offer them for the sheer fact that we're always trying to project a certain image to them. We're not being true, we're not being open, we're not being honest. We're always trying to give them this facade. You get me? So we're never actually building real, genuine friendships with them. Because we're always like, nah, I want her to think I'm cool. I want her to think I'm handsome. I want her to think I'm this. You get me? Where it doesn't matter what she thinks, bro. You are who you are. Be who you are.
Be yourself.
You get me? And allow her to be who she is. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Every time you look at a woman, you can't be thinking,
exactly what I wanted to say.
That is pathetic. You get me? When a man just looks at a woman and thinks, this is something I can fuck, this is something I can fuck, that's pathetic, bro. That is pathetic. So that's why I agree with what you're saying, but it's just about educating the man and let them know, bro, that's not it, bro. That's not it.
Can you educate certain men?
You can't.
You can try.
But you can definitely try.
You can try.
Well, you say that, but man, he said it. Him being around you showed him something that he wasn't able to see. Because he saw a next man doing it. He said, bro, I need to be more like that. Let me just chill a little bit.
Because a lot of my friends back then, and some still now, that's what they're like. And it's like, so when you ask, can they be educated? You're right, so you try. You know, as their friend, I try, but some just can't be helped. But it's so valuable. And what you said about women being these superior beings, it's true. And it's, if men respected women, all of them respected women, then we wouldn't have this fuckery about
that was propaganda right there.
That was propaganda, that was
I hope there's some ladies who leave their phone number in the comments.
Hey, this is that you? Is that you?
probably find your wife on this. I love it. You're taking the opportunity. That's good.
Because I see the landlord in the background trying to give man the signal to get me to speed up procedures. So
Yes.
let's just quickly do the how to deal with negative people.
Sure.
That was amazing though, by the way, guys. That was sick. Let's quickly do how to deal with negative people and give the landlord back his space. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
so how to deal with negative people. John, I don't want to hear from you.
Yeah, no. I'm going to ask.
How do you deal with negative people, big man?
Bring my positive energy around. You man know me.
And you do, bro. You do.
I'm an all-time positive person, bro.
But how do you deal with negative people?
How do I deal with negative
Is that what you mean? Like, just bring your energy, just be positive.
my energy is just so like positive and like it's just like I can make the unhappiest person laugh in the room, bro. Sometimes, like literally,
You can.
It's just
You actually can.
I think it's just about
He does it.
I genuinely think it's just the person who you are. You just got like once you know yourself and you know you're happy with who you are and comfortable in your life and you've got the people around you that support you. Like,
But what?
guys
Stick with people. What if they're attacking you? Like they're being really negative and they're taking out their shit on you. How do you? You feel annoyed. You feel a bit.
I'll take it. I'll listen. Put it into consideration for them.
I can't even argue with
That's
you.
Honestly,
That's so true.
I've seen him do that. I can't even lie.
This is just how I am.
He doesn't
He
react.
does it. And you do.
I've heard the most negative shit like people said to me. Like even like my female friends, like they'll come and call me and they talk about their problems. Like honestly, like and I'll be there. And I'll listen to them. Like
Fantastic.
You're a sweet guy.
That's just how I am. Ladies, please put the numbers in the comments, please.
More propaganda, more marketing.
I'm single. Rich.
Just so they don't fall you 10 and a half. No, it's a beautiful thing. How do you deal with negative people? Well, give advice how to deal with negative people. Actually, how to deal with.
I think something I was telling you, like literally, you know, just before we rolled was, you know, there's people who have like, you know, I think one of the pivotal things I realised when I was like 19, 20 was some people's shit has nothing to do with you. Do you know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with you. And so the way someone's behaving, it could be around you, it could be towards you, it could be at you, but sometimes it's got nothing to do with you. It's not about something you did. It's not about something you did. And so you don't need to involve yourself in it. You don't need to respond to it. You don't need to do nothing about it. Do you know what I mean? You just need to carry on with your day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that was one of the most like, you know, people talk about epiphanies and that was like, wow, my mind just switched up after that. And I think it's something you need to always remind yourself, like literally because there's some people that just take in energy, you know what I'm saying? You know, and,
I do
and
that.
you just
I need to
absorb it
stop.
and then you're negative. You're like, why am I negative? What's going on? I'm vexed. You know,
Yes.
So I think that thought, I would say, for me.
Say that one more time, just so we can quote that. Say it one more time.
Sometimes other people's shit has nothing to do with you.
Fantastic. Abs, how do you do? What advice can you give?
I am very bad at dealing with negative people.
Same.
Tell him your nickname. Tell him.
Well, my nickname is Don Petty Zanetti.
You've got two nicknames, Don Petty and Petty Zanetti.
That's his Insta. He's got 2 Insta pages.
It's very bad. When someone does any little thing to me, I react very badly because I'm very sensitive. But yeah, I'm working on it.
I love that. It takes a lot
I
to
have
be sensitive.
it, so
It's very funny with you. Very funny.
any little thing someone does, I just react bad, isn't it? I don't know. That's a weakness.
He can't even chill. He didn't even try to give no.
I love how we were getting very serious.
I do with negative people. I do with negative people. Negative.
I swear. It's not my version of That's so uncanny.
That was an argument on Friday. Shout out to no one. I'm not mentioning no names.
No names to mention, bro.
That's private.
No,
that's fantastic. Actually,
I try not to deal with negative people if I'm honest, because I'm like you, bro. I don't do well with negative people.
Let me just switch up a bit. This is like, okay, yeah. You don't deal with them, but what if they're, like I asked Adrian, what if it's like unavoidable. How do you deal with it? Because I think a lot of people...
Alright, so I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been trained and taught different things when it comes to irrational detachment. So it's a lot different, and I only deal with aggression or people attacking me verbally in work environments.
Fine.
And well, that's the most time I've had to do it in work environments, working in mental health, working with kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So irrational detachment allows me not to take it personal. Do you get what I'm trying to say? When it is personal, it's usually from people that I have some type of love for.
Yeah.
So I tend to not take it personal again, or just cut it off when it's when it's becoming too negative for me to deal with. I'm not dealing with this anymore. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not someone who allows people to tell me what I have to do.
Yeah.
If I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it.
Can I ask you a question? Ask you a question.
Yes,
Ask
sir.
you a question. So, you know, we just before we rolled, we was talking about certain things, certain environments.
Yeah.
And I got this like impression that you was probably a master at dealing with negative energy and shit that could go wrong very quickly, right? Now, what I want to know is from them times there, because you're talking about like more close to now.
Yeah.
From them times there, how did you deal with certain situations that could go very, very fucking left? How did you deal with them situations? And just
Luckily for me, I had foresight,
Yeah.
which allowed me to say, this is the worst scenario that could happen from this. So from this, the worst scenario that could happen is it, boom, could flick up and hit the man in the eye. Yeah. So I always had that foresight to say the worst thing that could happen. I'm good at controlling the energy, like you said. I didn't know it was a skill before. It was just, I was blessed with it. So I was like, God said, you're in this situation, I'm gonna give you these skills. Bam, you get me? And I was just able to navigate and control energy. I could have two killers in the same place, bro. And I'm thinking, they don't really like each other. If the wrong word gets said here, you get me? Yeah, it's curtains for everything. I was just able to build relationships with people enough to be like, nah, bro, I bet you just go over there for a second, bro. You just go down there. You know what I'm saying? And I had enough love.
them even knowing it sometimes.
To get about even people being aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
But I made sure that I led, because you know, like when you're in the end, you could either be the most feared, you could be the most respected. Yeah, I couldn't be the most feared. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I didn't have the tools. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the tools. I couldn't be the most respected. Yeah, because I didn't know what it meant or how to gain that respect, but I could be the most loved. And being the most loved was easy. You get me? Because it means show love, receive love. Yeah, and that was what kept me safe and allowed me to navigate those scenarios that you're talking about. Because he's got love for man, and he's got love for man. So you get me? This situation can be avoided because of the love that you lot got for man. Do you get me? So that was really what kept man safe. It's mad that you said that, because only as an adult I really acknowledged that.
Yeah, in everything you was talking about, I was like, you must have been, and there's them people that you know, like, you know, we grew up with some of them where you see, wow, they always avoiding things going really, you know, very serious.
And people would look and be like, ooh, that don't look comfortable.
Yeah,
Ash.
and there's always that brother who just knew how to say something to that person, just say something in man's ear, and it was just, everything's calm.
Yeah, I was that guy, bro.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. I was just lucky, and this is why I'm doing this now, because, and not even this necessarily like podcasting, but when I'm saying like, I'm able to talk positively to anyone in any environment because of who I was when I was in that environment. I wasn't violating people, I'm trying to rob people, you know what I'm trying to say? I was outside, but I showed love, innit? And people that know me because I was good to them, not because I violated them. You know what I'm trying to say?
There's honour there.
So that's how man managed to navigate it still.
Well, we hope those people who are sometimes too negative, we hope you've gained some advice there, especially from you. Because you don't want him on you as well. Don't be negative around him. Or him, But or anybody, basically, of course, I'm only joking. But for anybody, because negativity, you see negativity, what's the point? Like, if you've got someone who's worse off than you, and they're being positive, and you've got relatively more, say like you've got somewhere to sleep. Listen, I was in Brixton, Tube, dropped my wallet. This homeless man was like, "Oh, you got any change?" I said, "Listen, bro, if I had change, I'd give it to you. Because if I got it, I dropped my wallet in Brixton. The man's chased me down and said, your wallet.
The same homeless man?
Yes.
You're lucky if it was me, I didn't took it.
That's positive.
I just gave you back the wallet. You're going to go catch point.
But the humility, I did that. I had to. I had to give him I had to give him some cash. But the thing is, the positivity, he could have just negatively dealt with that and just taken the wallet. Yeah, exactly. But he was so positive, even though he was struggling. And like, if I don't get how people can be negative when like, living here in this country, and like, look at the people who died on the fucking bruv, like, and then you got someone who has a lot and they're being negative. Listen, I can't deal with that.
I think
so.
I'm just saying. It's just like too much going on in this world.
Yeah, to be negative.
There's so much going on. You've got one life to live.
Always people who was just negative, man. That just
They enjoy it.
I think there's some people that's just naturally disposed that way. That's the
true. Or their upbringing, their upbringing's maybe.
No, but everyone's gone through things.
Yeah,
exactly. Everyone's gone through things.
Some people it's perspective. Everything's perspective, innit?
Yeah.
So people sometimes it's hard for people to look through their perspective and say life is good. You know what I mean? Yeah. You gotta find something. You gotta find things that you enjoy. You gotta find what you love about living. You gotta find what you love.
Yeah, you gotta discover.
I'm telling you, you have to
look at the books here. You say something about but it's about.
I wrap this up.
3 months.
It's about.
I lost my dad 3 months ago. And that was probably one of the toughest things in my life right now that I've probably ever had to deal with. There's been days I've been up smiling, there's days I've been down. Jonathan's seen me, like, honestly, like, even still have the courage to go into work after all this shit that's happened to me, like, what's been going on, and it's like, there's people who have that and they dwell in the negative thoughts and that's like one situation, that's like one situation that could cause them to bring out that negativity and spread it around to other people, but I can't be doing that. That's just not the kind of person I am. Like, and also I'm just speaking from my opinion, but because everyone's different, everyone takes it differently. Do you know what I mean? I know someone else probably wouldn't be fine after a few months of missing, like losing their loved ones. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just
respect.
Honestly.
No, honestly, I respect that so much because I know it's not easy, bro. Right, we got to wrap it up now, so if you don't mind.
Alright, boys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lamre.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Brody, it was
We'll do this again.
Thank you for having me.
Age,
Please do, bro.
I see you every week. I see you every week. Listen, thank you guys for coming. No. Thank you guys for coming. No, thank you guys. No, thank you. Thank both of you guys.
Thank both of you.
We appreciate all of you. Yeah. I've been Masters.
I've been Hawks.
And these have been our...
No. I'll be Adrian, alright? No. Yeah.
Adrian's tough today, man. You went to gym this morning, but that's a wrap, guys. Thank you for being here. Like, share, subscribe,
please.
Know the vibe, and comment below.
Comment below.
Make sure you comment beloll. Tell us what you thought. Tell us what you want us to talk about next.
Please do.
We out.
Thank you so much.